Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. But tonight, we are all Jimmy Kimmel. I still have a show, though, right? Okay, good. Yesterday, after threats from Trump's FCC chair, ABC yanked Kimmel off the air indefinitely. That is blatant censorship. And it always starts small. You know, remember like in week 1 of his presidency, Gulf of America. Call it Gulf of America. Sure, seems harmless, but with an autocrat, you cannot give an inch. And if ABC thinks... If ABC thinks that this is going to satisfy the regime, they are woefully naive. And clearly, they've never read the children's book, If You Give a Mouse a Kimmel. And to Jimmy, just let me say, I stand with you and your staff 100%. And also, you couldn't let me enjoy this for like 1 week. Just come on. Now, just like ours, Jimmy's monologue is about what everyone's talking about every day. And on Monday, everyone was talking about reactions to the horrifying assassination of Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy touched on it in a way that offended FCC chair and individually wrapped hard-boiled egg that they sell at the airport, Brendan Carr. Carr went on a podcast yesterday afternoon and described Jimmy's comments as the sickest conduct possible. Wow. Those are strong words. I mean, Jimmy must have really been off the rails. I mean, completely out of control, truly psychotic. Let's see what he said.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving.
Is that the clip? Really? Because that's just Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, given the FCC's response, I was expecting something more, provocative. That's like hearing that Playboy has a racy new centerfold and finding out it's just Jimmy Kimmel. But Brendan Carr, he went even further, sending a clear signal to broadcasters what their next move should be and throwing in a little implied threat.
I think that it's really sort of past time that a lot of these licensed broadcasters themselves push back on Comcast and Disney and say, listen, we are going to preempt. We are not going to run Kimmel anymore until you straighten this out. I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Classic good guy talk. Joanne, would you make me the happiest man in the world? Look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Okay? The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, who has the power over ABC's broadcast licenses, sounds like he's telling them to punish Kimmel or else. It feels to me like shutting down this type of speech would represent a serious threat to our freedoms. And you know who else thinks that? Brendan Carr in 2020, when he tweeted, "From internet memes to late-night comedians, political satire helps hold those in power accountable. Shutting down this type of political speech, especially at the urging of those targeted or threatened by its message, would represent a serious threat to our freedoms." Oh man, do not tell Brendan Carr that Brendan Carr said that, or he's going to get Brendan Carr to cancel Brendan Carr. Danger at that. You can't. Brendan Carr's comments, they really sure seem like marching orders. And right after that podcast, there was an immediate reaction from Nexstar, which is a local affiliate media group that owns 32 ABC stations, and not, as I thought, how really drunk guys pronounce NASCAR. Nexstar said it strongly objected to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel and would preempt the series for the immediate future. Coincidentally, Nexstar has a major merger coming up before the Trump administration. So a company apparently capitulating to the whims of the president in order to ensure their merger goes through? Has that ever happened before? And what's that? What? I can't, what? Oh, I'm being told not to answer that question. Further coincidentally, Carr has even more leverage over the network because Disney, which owns ABC, also needs the Trump administration's green light for ESPN's deal to buy the NFL network. Yes, everything is about corporate relationships. It's hard to keep track, but remember, ABC is owned by Disney, which also owns Pixar, which is trying to merge with Twizzlers Pull and Peel, who make the material that Lockheed Martin uses for the O-rings for their Triton II missiles that the Defense Department commissions with the cash it got from its leveraged buyout of Claire's. Okay, it's... Anyway, shortly after Carr makes his statements about ABC, Kimmel gets yanked off the air. This decision came after senior executives at ABC, Disney, and affiliates convened emergency meetings during which multiple execs felt that Kimmel had not actually said anything over the line, but the threat of Trump administration retaliation loomed. As one source at ABC put it, they were pissing themselves all day. Oof. On the bright side, that proves Disney is #1 in streaming. Thank you. Thank you. Now, this may seem bad, but Carr was quick to reassure everyone, posting, "While this may be an unprecedented decision, it is important for broadcasters to push back on Disney programming that they determine falls short of community values." Well, you know what my community values are, Buster? Freedom of speech. Or, as Alexander Hamilton called it, Hakuna Matata. People across the country are shocked by this blatant assault on the freedom of speech. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy posted this video of himself.
Stephen Colbert is gone. Jimmy Kimmel is gone.
He told me I was gone. I thought I could go. Now, don't go far with this. Now, the administration claims this was not their decision, and it's not about Donald Trump. You know who doesn't believe that? Donald Trump. Listen to the president justifying threatening broadcast licenses of people who don't like him.
When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump, that's all they do. If you go back, I guess they haven't had a conservative on in years or something, somebody said. But when you go back and you take a look, all they do is hit Trump. They're licensed. They're not allowed to do that.
Yes, they are. Since the beginning, since Steve Allen, these shows have always talked about the current president, and that happens to be you. That's why you haven't heard me do too many Chester A. Arthur jokes. and I got a lot. The A stands for a whole lot of pubes on your face. So, no matter what they claim, this is not entirely about what Jimmy said on Monday. This was part of a plan. How do I know that? 2 months ago, when the president was tastefully celebrating my cancellation, he posted, "Jimmy Kimmel is next to go." How would he have known? Either Jimmy getting thrown off the air was his plan all along, or he was the one who stole that almanac from Doc Brown's DeLorean. It is so bizarre. It is so bizarre to see an American president weighing in so vehemently on TV shows. It reminds me when Reagan said this.
Mr. Gorbachev, cancel the Golden Girls.
This whole thing is the latest and boldest action in a long campaign against media critics. Trump has personally sued ABC, CBS, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Des Moines Register, and his bathroom scale. Plus, he defunded PBS and NPR and has already found his next target. Last night he posted, "Jimmy Kimmel Show is canceled. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers. on fake news, NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President DJT. Good Lord. Well, you heard the man. I guess we're all going to end up working at our new podcast, Fired Force 5. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Jake Tapper and David Remnick. When we come back, we'll hear an opposing